This is the Uptick Network Stock Day Podcast, sponsored by InvestorsHangout.com. Penny stock news and interviews from the microcap world. Public information on OTC, pink sheets, and microcap stocks from around the world. With your host, Everett Jolly.
On today's show, we have a brand new guest coming on. It's very interesting in what they do. I've been following the company for about 6 months, and I thought it was time to invite them on the show. Not only did they have an incredible, crushing first quarter of 2017 compared to 2016, I believe they've turned the corner and they're headed in the right direction. I'm talking about DRSV Inc. That's right. They trade on the OTC markets under the ticker symbol DRSV. And with us today is the CEO, Bruce Bellmare. Bruce, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Everett.
You know, if you could just maybe give us the elevator pitch, and what does DRSV do?
Well, we help businesses and consumers settle their financial disputes. That's kind of a quick summary of it. But in fact, we've got a couple of businesses. One business is focused on creditors who are looking for tools like we have to go out to their consumers and negotiate and collect outstanding bills. We then have another business that we're in the federal student loan document preparation business. And this is pretty exciting, I guess, as we've all read in the papers and about the expanding student loan debt that's being held. And what we do is we help the students understand the different programs that are available and help them take advantage of the ones that can lower their monthly payments and maybe ultimately earn them loan forgiveness.
Would you say that our country is in an epidemic of student loan debt out there?
Well, you know, we all read the same articles as to how fast it's growing, and we also read about how people want to make changes to it, but right now, with the cost of tuition to get through school, student debt for many is just a foregone conclusion. So we want to help those folks who've gotten out of school to put themselves in a financial position that they can not have this huge burden over their head. And the government's provided many programs that will help them do that.
You know, I was looking over your financials the last couple of nights, and actually your revenues have been growing at a tremendous clip. For example, 2016, in the first quarter of 2016, you guys did $657,000. In 2017, you did $2.16 million. What's the difference now, and why is revenue growing so fast?
Well, it's like a tale of two halves, if you will. The first half of 2016, we were closing down a subsidiary we had started in the federal loan business that didn't have the right business model. We recognized it, and our partners who were with us insisted that their business model was correct, and we said then we'll go in a different direction. And we closed that down, and we started up our subsidiary, Student Loan Care, in June of 2016. By the fourth quarter of 2016, we'd gotten to almost $2 million, and then into that, and that's a consolidated number. And then into the first quarter of 2017, we're over 2.16. So the business is doing well, and as important for us, of course, is operating income. And we were fortunate after 60 days of startup, we turned an operating profit, and we've been able to be operating income positive ever since. So it's a great opportunity, and we think we've got the business to take advantage of it.
What is student loan care? Can you break that down for us?
Student loan care is our business that, in fact, helps the consumers with the federal student loans. We have some core call center technology that we deploy, and we're basically an opt-in business where the consumer calls us and says, you know, I have these student loans and I'd like to find out if I can benefit from the government programs. Mm-hmm. And we help them, and we charge fees for it. And some have called us the H&R block of federal student loan document preparation. But we help the consumer take advantage of the programs that the government's already put out there.
I was reading on my research on your company, which this is a part of the kind of fascinates me. And correct me if I'm wrong. So you guys you sell consumer debt. You have a patent-protected online bidding system for the resolution and settlement of consumer debt. Can you explain that to me a little bit and my listeners?
Yeah, the tools that we have for creditors allow them to go out to their customers who owe them debt perhaps of 90, 120 days old, perhaps even older than that. And knowing that getting something in the door is better than getting nothing, our patent-protected technology allows them to go out and actually negotiate. And it's a blind bidding process similar to Priceline. If you're familiar with the Priceline technique of bidding on a travel trip, well, in this case, the consumer makes a bid as to how much they're willing to pay. If they don't hit the minimum amount that the creditor has set, they get 3 chances to do it. And we find that settlement, once we've got them engaged, settlement is over 65%. So it benefits the debtor as well as the creditor in this instance.
You guys have patents on your products?
Yes, we actually licensed those patents from our co-founders back in 2002.
So let me see if I got one of these models right. Let's say I'm a hospital and John Doe owes us $4,000 and he hasn't paid in 6 months. Do they sell that invoice to you and then you put it up on an electronic platform, if you will, and other agencies bid for that?
No, they actually send us their data. They control it. We don't control anything. Then they will contact the consumer either through electronic means or through paper means, and they'll tell the consumer, go to hospital ABC, debt, and the consumer will go there, and the consumer is then comes in contact with our program, which then steps them through this negotiating process. The consumer understands the hospital has set a minimum, and they're trying to bid something over the minimum that they can afford, and hopefully on terms such as multiple payments that they can afford as well. So it becomes a win-win for the hospital and the consumer.
Are you guys considered a collection agency?
No, we're not. We don't touch the money. We actually just have software, and we provide that software service. It's what in the old day, what in today they call software as a service. In the old days, we used to call it just a computer service company. But we just provide the software, and the hospital or the creditor, in fact, controls the money and controls everything, all the interface with the customer.
My guest today is Bruce Bellmare. He is the CEO of DRSV Inc. They trade on the OTC markets under the ticker symbol DRSV. Can you tell us anything about DRSV's future, like where we're at and what we can expect if I was an investor, 2, 3, 4 quarters from now?
Well, we can't really talk too much about the numbers.
I understand
but
that.
as we've said previously in our Qs and our Ks, our focus is just as you brought up your example of the hospital. The healthcare profession has one of the fastest growing debt problems in the country. And if it's not number one, then it's number two, right behind student loans. So,
absolutely.
Our focus is on those two segments, and we've got different products to help the creditors in the healthcare sense, to help the doctor's offices, things of that nature. And we also are going to be looking at additional ways of helping in the student loan business. So we're focused on where the action's going to be, and we think we're attractive. We like to partner. So people who want to partner with us in these industries where we've got some knowledge about it, and we've got some senior management that people could take advantage of, as well as for many people, taking advantage of our public structure is a home run as well.
I was going to ask you, I was reading one of your press releases, and I think it was you that said this. It could have been a different CEO at one time. It said that your business model for Progress Advocates was flawed. And then you reached out to a new partner, Hutton Ventures. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, Hutton Ventures is our partner in student loan care. And they had been in the student loan document preparation business for a while as well. When we sat down, we had some similar thinking about how to do this in a very compliant way with regulations that are in place, and that's how we came up with student loan care, which we launched in, as I said, in June. So it's been a great partnership. They're providing operational management out in California. We provide some senior management experience from headquarters here, and I think the proof is in the numbers for the first 6-7 months of 9 months of our operation.
Bruce, is all the numbers domestically sales, or do we have some international sales?
Well, today all of the numbers are domestic. We do have an agreement with a firm in Britain as they're looking into what that opportunity might be for them. We've previously announced that Settleit UK is the name of the company, and we'll see. There are some things that are different in the UK that will not allow a couple of our products to be very successful, but we believe the settlement part of it is a highly desired feature that there's not a lot of competition for over there. So we're looking forward to it.
The company that I'm highlighting today is Debt Resolve. They trade on the OTC markets under the ticker symbol DRSV. And with us today is the CEO, Bruce Bellmare. In closing, Bruce, is there anything that we didn't get a chance to talk about that you would like to get out to my listeners in closing?
No, I just say that, the proof is in the numbers. I think we're doing a good job, and if people go back a few years, it's probably been a pretty remarkable turnaround that we've done. So we just look forward to continuing our progress.
Well, I would like to add to that a little bit. I've told my listeners about other stocks and companies I like, and most of them have went up and stuff like that. This stock, we're talking about Debt Resolve, ticker symbol DRSV, just by the numbers alone, is completely undervalued. It's trading just a little bit above 1.5 cents. Their market cap is at 2.9. They'll probably finish the year over $8 million in revenues. I like the stock. I'm going to probably purchase some after the interview. And so I want to thank you very much, Bruce, for coming on the show. It was really nice to meet you and being introduced to your company. And I hope in 40 or 50 days you come back on the show and give us an update.
Okay, Everett. Nice talking to you.
The following program is entirely sponsored and produced by Uptick Newswire LLC, which is responsible for the following content. The opinions and information provided on today's show are those of the guests and of those of the respective companies they represent, and does not necessarily reflect those of the staff or management of this station. Uptick Network encourages all listeners of the show to do their own due diligence and research when determining investment strategies that'll work for them, or to seek the assistance of an investment professional. The guests of today's show may have paid to appear on the show and are not directly affiliated with Uptick Network or this station.